We are a vertical playing team, so we need to play more vertical. We need to be more disruptive. We want to cause chaos. When that ball turns over, we want to play 2 yards on the other side of the ball. All right, so that's number one, just being dominant up there playing a vertical get off. And obviously we need to be better in our pass rush, okay? We need to get better inside pass rush, and then we also got to do better with maintaining our pass rush lanes. Obviously in this league, there were some quarterbacks last year that scrambled the ball that hurt us. So we got to understand, how do we balance up the pass rush lanes, and let's make sure we get the quarterback knocked down. So just taking those incremental steps, to improve every day, that's what we're trying to work on.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Practice number 7 in the books today. Another day in full pads. Another day closer to that first scrimmage where we're going to find out. We're going to learn where some of these position battles are headed. But another day in full pads today. The energy level's up. The physicality is up. We're one day closer to football time in Tennessee. You can hear there some comments from Coach Rodney Garner. He's looking for more. He's looking for more from his defensive line. I like to hear him talking about playing 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. We saw a defensive line last year that had some success doing that. The tackles for loss were up, but then you also hear the things they've got to be better at. Got to get after the quarterback a little bit better. Got to get the quarterback to the ground in scrambling situations. But a lot of times, we talk about this defensive line, and it's the same old song and dance. We talk about Byron Young. We talk about Tyler Barron and how they have to be better. We talk about Aubrey Solomon. But today when he met with the media, Rodney Garner talked about some guys that we haven't really mentioned a lot. He also talked a little bit about depth and whether or not he was going to be able to play some of these freshmen. We're going to get into it. We're going to break down some of his comments. But as always, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's quick 3. It's easy. It helps the channel. Just hit that little thumbs up just below the video. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We are fans just like you. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. So let's go ahead and get into it. Again, talking about this football team, it's no secret. Rodney Garner is my favorite coach on this team, and I think the ability to take this defense from below average to not, I don't even think you have to be elite, just to improve enough. I think it all starts up front. Something Rodney Garner has mentioned time and time again is wanting to rotate 10 guys around. And when you look at this defensive line, do they have the depth to do that? And when you look at the edge position, 2 guys we mentioned regularly, Byron Young and Tyler Barron, they've got to give us a little bit more, give us a little something. Byron Young needs to take that next step. He needs to be all SEC level type of player. But there's a couple of guys that we don't really talk a lot about, and that's Bryson Eason and Roman Harrison, because, you look at true freshmen, and a lot of times we get excited about star rankings, and a guy like James Pierce coming in on 3.com ranked him as a 5-star prospect. You get excited about those guys. You want to see them come in and make an impact right out of Jump Street, right from the get-go. But you've got guys like Roman Harrison, who is a senior, Bryson Eason, a guy that's a redshirt sophomore, been in the system, been around Coach Garner. That's the guys that will add a little bit of depth. And when we talk about recruiting and stacking recruiting classes and truly building that depth, that's what you want. You don't want to play true freshmen. And Rodney Garner was asked specifically about that, if those freshmen would be ready. Let's take a listen to his comments, what he had to say about the freshmen.
I don't think you could afford to do that, to be totally honest with you. You may get away with it somewhat in a non-conference game, but in a conference game, I don't know that you could afford to do that. They've got to show some glimpses of what they're going to be or could be, and maybe they may not have gotten there totally because they hadn't gotten totally comfortable with the system, and the game hadn't slowed down enough for them to play faster. But they have shown flashes that they can be really good. But other than that, we try to go out here every day and we're straining, and we're trying to find, 10 guys that can play, at a championship level. I think you cheat the other 10 guys on the field when you put a guy out there that's not ready, that doesn't know, maybe can't execute the calls, that's not going to play hard, that's not going to give his all for everybody out there. And these guys work too hard for that, for me to cheat them out of an opportunity to win.
So again, are the freshmen ready to go? Can you add them to that rotation of 10 guys? When you look at the edge position, again, BY, Tyler Barron, Roman Harrison, Bryson Easton, I think you've got your 4 edge guys right there. But a guy that we've really not talked a whole lot about, and Coach Garner mentioned him, is Dominic Bailey. And Dominic Bailey is a guy that, he was a 4-star prospect in the class of 2020, but, we've not really been talking about him much on the channel, and he's a guy that Coach Garner praised, that he's really starting to come on. Said he praised him just this morning in the meeting room, but the funny thing is, when you ask whether or not a guy is ready, he said he comes out to practice this morning and has a rough start. He has a rough start to practice, and he talked about he's got to be consistent, and he's going to have an opportunity this fall to help this football team. Coach Garner praised him for changing his body, changing his mentality. He even went on to say that Dominic Bailey is a little bit more talented than Coach Garner thought he was. You move to the inside. Who's going to step up? Who's going to be in the rotation? We talk a lot about Aubrey Solomon. We talk about Big Omari Thomas. DeJoun Terry's a guy that I praise a lot. A guy that Coach Garner mentioned, Karat Garland, praised him for being a guy that came in to this football program and started at the linebacker position. Then they moved him to defensive end. Now he's moving inside a little bit closer to the football. He talks about what you have to be able to do to play that position, the physicality that it takes to play on the inside of on the inside of the defensive line. But Coach Garner wants more out of his defensive line. And something that he said in a previous interview, and he kind of doubled down and said it again. Again, I love Coach Garner. And he talked about you don't come to Tennessee to win 7 football games. You don't come to Tennessee to go 7-6. And this is the second time he's kind of doubled down on that. And he said, he feels like they met the expectations of some of the people out there like fans and media. He said, but they didn't meet the expectations of that locker room or of that coaching staff. Coach Garner is ready to raise the bar. Coach Garner wants more out of his defensive line. And I think if you can get more out of that defensive line, you're going to get more out of your linebackers. You're going to get more out of your secondary. This defensive football team is going to feed off of the defensive line. So who's going to step up? He talked about Byron Young, and he said, who's going to replace Matthew Butler? And he really praised Butler for what he meant to this football team. And he said they're still looking. They're still looking for a leader to replace Matthew Butler on that defensive line. And he talked about, Byron Young trying to be that guy, but he said he's just a different type of leader. He's not that vocal leader. He leads. He kind of takes care of himself. So who's going to step up and be that guy on the defensive line? Because we're just a few weeks away from football season. Somebody has got to step up. And again, Rodney Garner says he is ready to raise the bar. A lot of times we talk on this channel about Coach G, what he's like on the practice field. JP and I were kind of joking about it on Saturday night during the live stream. If you missed that, go back and check it out. We kind of broke down the first week of fall camp. A really good stream, just hanging out with JP, going back and forth. And we talked about Coach G and who he was on the field. Let's listen to Coach G and how he kind of summarized who he is as a coach.
I think so many times, that they take it personal, and I try to tell them, I could be probably a little bit aggressive, I can probably be a little brutal. I may not say it in the nicest way, but I try to tell them, don't take it the tone, receive the message. You know what I'm saying? And take that aggression. That's just me wanting to win. That's just me wanting you to be better. At times, at the end of the day, though, 99% of my guys, they come back and they love me. At that moment right now, they don't like me, which is sort of like being a parent. Your kids don't like you when you're raising them, but when they get old, they love you and they appreciate everything you did for them. That's what we're hoping. That's going the same thing that's going to transpire here. That these guys are going to love me. That they're going to bring their wives and the kids back to see me. I'm going to be playing with their kids like they're my grandkids. So that's what it's all about. And and just getting them to understand, I want what's best for them. I want them to be the best version of themselves, so we can be the best version of a Tennessee D-line and then we can be the best version of the Tennessee football team. That's all I want.
Ah, man, I get chill bumps listening to Coach Garner talk. He is everything you want in a football coach. He's hard on you because he wants the most from you. He's ready to raise the bar. 7 wins is not enough. Hit that comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Can Tennessee's defensive line raise the bar? Who's going to be in that 10-man rotation? What do you think about Karot Garland? Is he a guy that can step up? Dominic Bailey, what type of player can he be? Hit that comment section. Let me know. Also, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin' VAWLS Network. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin' VAWLS. Any and all support greatly appreciated. I mentioned it in the video this morning. I'll mention it again now. Business is about to pick up here on the Talkin' VAWLS Network. We're going to be doing a fan call-in show, not this Wednesday, but next. Fan call-in show. If you want to be a part of that, you got to be a member of the channel. You can hit that join button down below. If the join button doesn't appear because you're on an Apple product, there is a link in the description of this video, and you can go and join the channel and become a part of this community. You can join the fan call-in shows, access to custom Talkin' VAWLS emojis, and you support what we are trying to do on this channel. We would greatly appreciate it. Thinking about doing a morning stream next week, whether that be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll try to figure it out. I want to do a Monday morning show where I get on, talk with you guys, maybe play some press conference clips, and just hang out and see how that goes. Doing a morning stream versus an evening stream, and that's just kind of a gauge to see where we can take this channel in the future. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.